Biden is building a behemoth of a campaign. Trump at this point seems to be playing catch up. Biden is flush with cash and opening campaign offices across the country, but has struggled to overcome Trump and his more meager campaign in the polls. Well, as we know, polls were created by Satan to deceive us, so we don't need to pay attention to those. Joe Biden has been scooping up record-making donations, plowing the money into an expanding campaign operation, flush with $71 million in cash at the end of February, more than twice that of Trump's campaign. That was at the end of February. What about now? You know? Since February, Laura Trump has taken over as co-chair of the RNC, and as, they've pledged to direct RNC money towards Trump. More people have shown hesitancy at where their money is going in their donations. I wonder how bad that gap is now. 300 paid staffers across 9 states, 100 officers. This is why us canvassing is so important, dude. The DNC is flexing its wealth and power in the form of 300 paid staffers. That's a smaller number of people than we could get out for an event, Progressive Victory has had more people than that, like on the ground at a location before. It's insane. The amount of influence you can potentially have through free volunteering is massive. How much does fundraising even do when both people are presidents? A surprising amount. You'd think, especially with recognition levels so high, it wouldn't be as effective as it is, but it really, really is. Trump campaign says it raised $50.5 million at Florida fundraiser. Yeah, I saw this, and you're going to have to forgive me for my conspiracism here, but I think this is a lie. I think they're lying. Because if you look here, okay, $50.5 million at a single event is an insane amount, like a colossal amount. But then if you take a look down here, the funds raised at the Saturday fundraiser are expected to be split between the Trump campaign, the RNC, state Republican parties, and the Save America PAC, which helps pay for the former president's legal bills. Yeah, no, what I think happened here is that this was just a big money mixing event where money changed hands. But when they say 50 million, I don't think that's like, yeah, 50 million directly to the Trump campaign or whatever. I think a lot of that is just getting cycled around at a big event, and a lot of it's getting funneled into Trump. Holy shit, Trump looks like dog shit here. Oh my God, look at him. Jeez. Oh. God damn. Biden pulled in 90 million at the end of March and is entering the second quarter of the year with almost 200 million. Trump pulled in 66 million and overall ended March 93.1 million after the RNC merged with the Trump campaign. Yeah, and I bet you a lot of the money they have on hand right now is going to end up just getting bled into his legal funds, It wouldn't surprise me at all. I think it's very difficult to sort of like know where those finances are going because Trump has so many like legal liabilities and financial liabilities. Yeah, the Biden campaign's getting a lot of money. Is his presidential campaign just a very big money laundering operation? Or yeah, it has been for a while. It has been at the very least since mid 2020. Yeah, the Trump fundraising apparatus has been almost entirely dedicated to funneling money into his like legal bills. The legal bills to challenge the election results, the legal bills to deal with all the lawsuits. Like it's nonstop with him, How much do you think this presidential campaign is going to cost this term? I don't know, but I think everyone's expecting this to be the most expensive presidential race in American history. From what I've seen, like I don't think. My understanding is that it's going to be like not even close. Like the amount of money that's going to get dumped into this campaign and burnt through it is going to be astronomical. Democrats can't flip Florida. I mean, maybe eventually, but not this year. Will we keep Georgia? We might. I wonder how we'll do in the Carolinas. A chunk of pro-Trump fundraising goes towards legal fees. A chunk, yeah. Next week, his first criminal trial is set to begin. North Carolina might be up for grabs. Didn't Biden open up a bunch of campaign offices in North Carolina? I remember reading that. Yeah, here we go. From 21 hours ago. Biden's campaign is staffing up and opening new offices at Georgia. That's not what I Googled. Well, there's your Blorgia reminder. Okay. Article? What about North Carolina? Here we go. 4 days ago, CBS News. Biden campaign focuses on North Carolina. There we go. Okay. Democrats have a better chance of flipping Texas than Florida? Yes. If it wasn't for voter suppression, I'm pretty sure that Texas would have been very, very close to going blue. Back in 2020, I mean. Polls were massively wrong in Arizona in 2022. Listen, okay, polling doesn't exist, okay? Listen, polling doesn't work. For all of human history, polling doesn't work. The only reason polling for a time seemed as though it might have worked was because Nate Silver made a Faustian bargain with the devil. Okay? Nate Silver pledged for a given length of time, for the terms of the pact, polling would be a real thing. Okay? And in return, he would give Satan his soul. But that pact is over. Nate Silver has been tossed to the winds. It's gone now. It doesn't work anymore. The pact is over. Nate has a soul again? Whoa, now, I didn't say that. Have you seen the ads for that stupid Civil War movie coming out this Friday? No, and I'm not watching it. I have never seen, there has never before been such an annoying, like, grassroots effort to push me into watching a movie. I can't breathe without somebody mentioning that stupid movie. I don't care. It's just some stupid A24. People saying it's good. People say anything is good. People said the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was good. I don't care. The Civil War apparently thanked Andy No in its credits because they used his recordings. I think I saw a screenshot of that, though I don't know if it was real. Pretty wild. Thanking, like, Nazis in your end credits. Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess. Pew Research showing that polls aren't real. Pew finds the partisan gender gap is largest with older voters and smallest with younger ones. Make of that what you will, but it's contrary to some narratives that have recently popped up. Man, that's crazy. If you're 49 or younger, like every group from 49 or younger leans majority Democrat. That's crazy, you know? The only groups that lean majority Republican are men 50 to 64 and men 65 plus. That's it. That's literally it. Even women 65 plus are 1 point in favor of Democrats. Literally, that's literally it. Men 50 plus. That is the only bastion of Republican leaning. And then, of course, that men 50 plus is like all people in power. So, you know, ban men 50 plus. No kidding, dude. Look at this. That the discourse about the political opinion gap for young men and women was completely made up. I contributed this to an extent, but after SDL popped in for a stream and we talked about it, like, yeah, it completely made up. And it's because so many of those polls are opt-in. Like, you choose to add your opinion to the poll. And what that means is that a bunch of young men who play Hearts of Iron 4 and War Thunder, who are like, I have opinions to share, go onto the poll and they're like, yes, I am 16 and I think that the wrong side won World War II. And then, like, it's like, oh, okay, wow, it turns out 40% of under 20 men are Nazis. And it's like, well, no, that's not true at all. There are literally groups that mass reply to those polls because they know it steers media narratives. That's why I'm saying polling was made by the devil or by Nazis, you know, and I repeat myself. Guys, you realize how good this is. Like, I hope everyone who's watching this right now understands how good this is. 18 to 29 has a, like, 2-to-1 lead, leaning Dem over leaning Republican. That's insane. This isn't just Gen Z either. This is Gen Z and most millennials. This isn't even including Gen Alpha, you know? This is most of Gen Z and most of millennials. And then even in the 30 to 49, which is the rest of millennials, myself included now, I guess, and Gen X, there's still a decent 5-point or 10-point lead towards Dems. So did Nate Silver's pact go back into effect? No, it's just that Pew Research is one of the few reliable groups when it comes to, like, polling, because they actually do probability-based sampling. They don't, like, Pew Research doesn't just, like, put out an ad on the internet and go, like, do you want to make $5? You know, they actually, like, do the work. They do, like, you know, broad sampling, calling addresses, that kind of stuff. You know, doing, like, regressive analysis to make sure that if they're, like, only using phone data, that they, like, bias the information appropriately concerning the number of people who pick up phones or the percentage of people picking up phones or whatever. How can we capitalize on this? It's not really something to capitalize on. Young people are very left-leaning. That's good. I do think, from what I've seen, I do think there is a very real gap in political opinions between men and women in South Korea, because we talked about that recently. The thing is, over here in America, the genders are very, very integrated. For the most part, in most social circles, men and women interact with each other all the time. It's not like this is like Saudi Arabia or South Korea or Japan or whatever, where there are strict social standards that lead to, like, pretty regimented segregation of men and women. you know, groups that interact with one another more are more likely to be A, progressive to each other, and B, you know, of comparable opinion. Prohibition in 1920s basically ended gender segregation. World War II also to an extent, yeah. Yeah, the differences here are those over 50 when gender roles in the US were historically more segregated. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, for older people, like back in the ye old days, I'm pretty sure that men and women, like, barely got along and didn't talk about much. I don't know. What the feeling that I get from, like, everything that I hear about older, like, silent generation or older or whatever, even boomers, is just they were barely even friends. I don't know. It's very weird to think about. This is one way that Republicans are unlike the Nazis. The Nazis had equal support across ages, where all fascists are incredibly gerontocratic. I don't know about Nazis having equal support across all ages, though I guess I would believe that. Yeah, they didn't have quite as much for the same, like, boomer appeal. My grandma was a massive FDR fan, but my grandpa loved Nixon. Well, to be fair, Nixon did make the EPA, so a lot of men back then probably didn't even know what menstruation was. Oh, to be sure, yeah. I'm in a social history class and had a reading about the interaction between women working behind a donut shop counter and men sitting at the counter in the 70s. The women remembered all the names and stories of the men, while the men remembered talking to the women but not their names. Yeah, men kind of suck. I don't know. Men are kind of shit. I don't know. That would happen now. That would happen now. Yeah.